In the last video, I have given you a complete detail about when you should go for the custom MCP server. We also discussed what is custom MCP server, what all the best practices that you should be following on those custom MCP server as well. So before you come to this video, I would highly recommend that you guys should definitely watch the custom MCP server video. Again, if you have my Udemy course, which is based on the Agentforce, right? In that course, I have added one section here with the name of Headless 360. And these are the two videos that I would highly recommend that you folks should go over to understand what is standard MCP server and what is custom MCP server and when we should go for the custom MCP server. Now, in this video, I will demonstrate you how you can enable the custom MCP server with the existing Apex REST class, that is nothing but the REST resource that you have written, so that you will understand how you can invoke your REST resource to the custom MCP server as well. Now, to get this done, I will quickly first navigate to my environment, and there are certain settings. These are the one-time setting that needs to be done irrespective of whether you are enabling the custom MCP server for any of the options. So what you have to do here is you have to navigate to the user interface, and under the user interface setting, yeah, there are certain settings that we have to make sure that are checked. The number one here is the enable. Let me go and type it. Enable Salesforce Platform REST API Open API specification. So this is the first thing that you have to make sure that it is checked. Another one here is enable MCP service, because it is still in beta. So you have to make sure that this is also checked. Might be in the future they will be automatically checked, but again, as you are doing it for the first time and it is still in beta, so you have to make sure that this beta service is enabled, this beta service is enabled, and also enabling the Salesforce platform REST API name query for the agent action. This beta service should also be enabled. So this is the one-time configuration that you have to go and validate. Then the next thing what you have to do here is you have to go and create your own MCP server. So coming up here to the MCP server, like in the last video, I have shown you how you can use the standard MCP server, and I have already demonstrated you how you can use the S object all. But this time we will be creating our own MCP server. So here I will be taking the option of create MCP server. You can give any name. For example, here I am giving name as the custom MCP server, right? And this is my name. You can go and put the description. For example, here I'll be putting the description here as MCP server for Claude, and then I'll be putting here the create button. Okay, it says that this label is already in use, right? So let me put another label because I might already tried it. So let's say here I'll be putting the name as the Udemy, so that we'll understand we are doing this for our Udemy course. Okay, so this is my custom MCP server, and I'll be putting here the create button. Now, again, inside this MCP server, if I take you, there are no tools at this moment, right? There are no prompts has been written. This MCP server is inactive as well. So again, when we are building this MCP server, so what you have to do, you have to go and add the server asset, and here you will be taking the option of add tool. And here you will see that what all different types of actions that can be added in your custom MCP server. So one of the option here is the Apex REST. That's what we will be doing it today. But in the following video, I'll be covering the remaining Apex actions as well, like the Aura enabled, flows, and the name query too. Now, moving up to the next part, we will try to understand what we have to do it on the Apex REST class. So for example, this is my Apex REST class that I have created. A very simple Apex REST class, which is responsible to go and create the case record. So this Apex class is expecting the subject, description, and the priority, and based on that it will be inserting the case record, and finally it is returning the response, where it will be returning me the two things. First one here is the case record number that has been created along with the message as well. Definitely you can write down all the complex logic. You might already have those kind of a REST resources that also you can use for the testing purpose, but for our testing we will go with this basic REST resource, and first thing that I will be doing here is I am deploying it. Another thing that you have to make sure that whenever you are doing this exercise, the API version of your project, it must be 66. Again, how you can validate the API version? For that, you have to come up here and you can check the project JSON. Here you have to make sure that the source API version of your project must be 66. Another thing that you have to make sure that whatever the Apex class that you are creating, it should be also on the 66th version. In case it is not coming to 66 version, then you have to make sure that you are updating your CLI. So these are all things that you have to take care first before you come up here. Number one, you have to make sure that all your extensions are updated, right? Like in case extension pack is not updated, make sure that it is updated. Number two, you have to also make sure that your CLI version is also updated. So how to update the CLI version, I hope everyone knows it, right? Next thing that you have to do here is you have to also make sure that the project that you are working on, it is currently on the 66th version, and more importantly, the class that you do have, it should be also on the 66th version. Now my class has been deployed successfully. As a part of next step, I have to go and create the open API document of this class. Now open API document is something which is a mandatory step that needs to be done. But the good part here is you do not have to do anything. Salesforce have provided out of the box CLI command which will generate the open API document for you. How you can get this done? You have to simply do the right click on your browser, and here you have to take the option SFDX create open API document from this class. If this option is not coming up for you, that means your CLI is not updated or your Apex class is not created in the correct version. So you have to make sure that both the prerequisites are met. Once that has been met, then this option will start coming up for you. So here you have to go and create the open API document. The system will ask you for the folder and the file that needs to be created. Here I am approving it, and then the system will go and create the open API document from this particular class. Again, it is something that system will do automatically. System will go and create one folder with the name of external service registration, and under this system will go and create this MCP create class. Here you can see that it's an open API specification file that Salesforce have automatically created for you, right? Now only thing that you have to do here is you have to come up here and deploy this source to the org. That's it. Once the deployment has been completed, then we have to move to the next step where we have to go and create the API catalog for this open API specification. So once your file has been deployed successfully, then you can come up here and you can look for the option with the name of API catalog. It is as simple as is, only the basic navigation and the configuration that needs to be done to get this configuration. So as soon as you go and navigate to the API catalog, let me go and refresh the page. Now the API catalog page has been loaded, and here you can see that I do have my MCP create class. Again, if you go and compare with this, right, this is the class MCP create case, and we can see that I have the API name available with the exact same thing. Right now you can click on this API name here and you can validate the operation which are available. Like in our API, here I have created the operation with the name of post. Here you can see that I do have my post method coming up here, right? You can see that I do have the operation name is execute. This is my method name that I have created with the name of an execute. But as of now, this particular action is not activated. So what you have to do here is you have to come up here, click on the activate action. Then the system will allow you to go and select all those operations from here, and then you have to come up here and select all the operations and then click on the update button. So you have to make sure that all your actions are activated here, right? That you want to be get exposed from the MCP server. Now the next thing, you have to again navigate back to your MCP server one more time that you have already created. If I take you to the Salesforce server, this is the custom MCP server that we have already created. So what you have to do here is under this, you have to navigate to the tool, and then you have to come up here and add the tools. Here you will be selecting this time the Apex REST, because this is the tool that we have just now created. You can see that I do have this MCP create case coming up here, right? I do have the execute method coming up here, and you can simply go and click on the add tool button. Your job is completed. You just have to come up here and click on the Done. So what you have done here, you have added one tool under your custom MCP server, which is responsible to go and create the case record. You can navigate to the tool. You can give better name if you want. For example, here I will be clicking on the create button. I am giving here the label as create case record, and with the operation name as create case record, right? And if you want, go and put the description. Description is very important because based on the description only, the system will understand what action that needs to be done or when this particular tool needs to be invoked. So what I want here is based on the subject, description, and the priority, right? So here I'll be putting based on subject, description, and the priority. Create the case record, right? And here I'll be clicking on the save button. So I have created one MCP tool, right? And then I'm making sure that whatever the tool that I have created, even the MCP server that I have created, right? Both should be active. As of now, my server status here is inactive. So what I need to do here is I have to navigate and activate this. So here again, I'll be clicking on the activate button. Now my MCP server is activated. I want to invoke this MCP server from the Claude. So to get this done, this is the server URL that we have to use. Again, if I navigate to the Claude, this is what we have already configured it. What I will be doing for now here is I will be removing this and I will go and add this with the new custom URL that we do have. So what I will be doing, I'll be clicking on the connector, clicking on the plus button, clicking on the plus button. Here I will be adding the custom connector. You can give any name. For example, here I'll be giving the name as PJWA Udemy, that is Tech Journey with Ankit Udemy course. And here you have to go and provide your remote MCP server URL. Like in our scenario, we have created this MCP server. So I will be adding this URL here, right? And putting this URL here. Under the advanced setting, you have to also put the client ID and the client secret as well. So we have already created the external client app in the previous video. I'm using the same consumer key as well as the consumer secret key and putting both of them here and click on the add button, right? You can come up here, click on the connect one more time. The Salesforce will take your consent on this. So the consent screen is loading. Right now, the Salesforce do have the consent, and here you can see that the custom action that you have created, now it is available here. Right? Again, you can go and define whether it needs approval or it should be always allowed. You can go and put all those kind of a configuration here. As of now, we have added only one custom action, but you can add the multiple custom action. But make sure that you are following all the best practices of adding the custom actions that we have already discussed in the previous video. Now let's go and test it out whether my case record is getting created or not. So to do this, I will be navigating here to the Claude, and you can always go and add the connector. So for example, this is my connector, right? It is always active. So let's say here I am saying that, can you create a case record for me with subject, for example, I am putting up headphones are not working. Description as from last week, my headphones are not charging. If the priority has high. Okay, and with this detail, I am hitting the command. Now the expectation here is the Claude should go and invoke my custom MCP server that I have already enabled as a connector, and it should go and create the case record for me. Now you can see here based on the request that I have sent, right? This is the Claude have created the new case for me. The number of the case here is 1029. It have put the subject and the description and also set the priority as high. So what I have done in this video here is I have one existing REST resource class For that REST resource class, I have created the API specification. I have added that API specification as an API catalog and then expose that API as a tool to the custom MCP server. Now I am invoking my custom MCP server directly from the Claude and getting the case record created here. So you can navigate to the cases and you can see that, or even you can also search for the case number. Here you will see that the new case has been created inside the Salesforce. I hope you got the idea how we can use the custom MCP server whenever we have to perform any kind of an operation in the Salesforce using the Apex REST class.